Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're thinking of selling your home, then you already know, first impressions count. Today I'm taking you through my process for cleaning up and transforming this garden so it helps the whole property stand out and attract those buyers. Let's take a quick look through. The front garden is the very first thing buyers see, even before they step inside the door. A tidy, inviting garden can be the difference between excited interest and a quick drive-by. A great garden says well-loved home, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. If the potential buyers see a tired and untidy front garden, then they will enter the house with a slightly negative mindset. If they are met with a well-maintained and well-kept garden, they are more likely to walk in the front door with a positive attitude toward the property. First impression count. You can see that this back garden has lots of potential to be very appealing to buyers, especially in the inner city where back gardens are typically very small. It just needs a bit of a lift and tidy up to show it full beauty. I'm going to start by fixing up these old brick pavers. Over time, roots and ground movement push bricks out of alignment, especially if the paving is on sand like these are, which makes paths and patios not just untidy, but potentially unsafe. The good thing about paving on sand is that it's quick and easy to fix. Level paths and patios are a huge selling point. It shows the home's being cared for and gives buyers one less job to worry about. This area had a large pot on it. Over time, it had begun to sink. Once the ground has shifted, water could no longer run off into the garden bed and started to pool around the pot. This made the paving sink even more. To fix it, I'm going to remove the old bricks, compact the ground, add some new sand to build the levels back up, and then repave the area so that it's back to the same level as the rest of the patio. If you want to know my process of how to pave on sand, I'll add a link to a how-to video in the description. This area is the opposite. Tree and plant roots have pushed it up. To fix this, I'm going to remove the bricks, remove some roots, and then repave. You want to be mindful of removing roots, especially from trees. Taking too much can harm it, but roots are also stabilizing it. If you remove anything major, the tree can become unstable and potentially dangerous. If you're unsure, it's best to get an arborist to come and take a look. I used to be an arborist, so I'm confident that what I remove here won't cause any problems. I'm using a masonry saw here. It uses water to keep the dust under control. It's great for small jobs like this as it's quick and doesn't require setting up power cords or connecting hoses. I'm not really sure what these posts were for, but they're making the area feel a bit cluttered. As they don't have a purpose anymore, I'm going to remove them. Nothing says fresh and cared for like neat, weed-free garden beds, so I'm pulling out every weed I see. I'm also spreading out any mounded up soil or compost piles in the garden. Even ground makes the space look larger and instantly neater. Lumps and bumps can look messy and even put off some buyers. Tidying up any stepstones will not only make the area look more organized and aesthetically pleasing, but also make it more functional. All the pavers are just sitting on the ground and aren't mortared in, which make this job quick and easy. It also allows the new owners to move them around if they want to change it up to suit their needs. If I was doing this for long-lasting results, I would give them a crushed rock base and set them on mortar. Rule number 1 for garden prep: prune. I'm cutting back anything that blocks the view, covers windows, or makes the space feel cramped. Opening up trees and shrubs not only brings in more light, it makes both front and back gardens look bigger and more welcoming. This tree has a few dead branches that can be removed. This rosemary has started to become woody and unattractive. It's not offering much value to the area, so unfortunately has to go. We've got an old stump in the middle of the garden bed here. It's pretty old and rotten, so won't take a huge effort to get out. It's worth spending the time to remove it. I'm going to continue removing any old leaf litter and weeds from the garden beds. Right, so, on to the front. There was once a large paperbark tree here, and as you can see, the stump still remains. It's a bit ugly and a stump grinder can't fit through the gate. I'm not going to remove it entirely, but I'm going to make it lower and less visible. I'm also going to cut some grooves into it to speed up the rotting process. I'm going to declutter this section, removing anything that doesn't belong. The soil is way too high, so I'll get rid of a few barrow loads to level it off. I'll spread it all around the back garden, where there's more space. You don't have to spend a fortune on new plants, but adding a few can really enhance the area, and it's worth investing in. We have spoken about the importance of the front garden already. I've taken a few cuttings from the other side to try and balance the garden a bit. Screaming utilities while keeping things tidy is subtle, but it makes a big difference in how buyers see the space. I'm going to strategically plant this viburnum to screen the gas meter so that it's less visible when you walk through the front gate. Let's take a quick look at some mulch options. There are three main options in my area. You have pine bark, which can give a cottage feel, but it can also end up looking a bit like a McDonald's playground. Black mulch. This makes the green of the plant stand out, but can also stain any paving or concrete. Not a good option in my opinion. Or U mulch. This is my favorite, and I almost exclusively use this type. It looks and smells great and really improves the condition of the soil. Adding mulch to the garden is one of my favourite parts. It not only keeps the weeds away, it's also good for the soil, holds in moisture, makes colours pop, and gives the whole space a unified look. You can see that it really lifts the whole area. It's not overly expensive either, so is a real must-do if you want to improve the look of the garden. I'm going to pop in some lavender to add a bit of colour, and I'm replacing the rosemary with something a bit more attractive. Again, these aren't expensive plants but make a big difference. Rearranging plants and pots that you already have is a great way to save some money. Too many pots can clutter a garden and make it feel chaotic, but keeping some and placing them strategically can really work in your favour. I'm using a pot that was unused and repotting a bay tree that was hidden in the back garden. It makes a nice feature at the front of the house but also hides the ugly downpipes. Side paths can easily get ignored, but they're a key part of daily living, and a meat path here means access for bins, bikes, or just walking through without muddy shoes. I'm clearing out all the weeds, removing any rubbish, and leveling out the soil before laying down a layer of compacted granitic sand. Again, it's not an expensive material, but really cleans up the side path. Being a light colour, it helps brighten up the otherwise dark area. Once you've got it all down and spread evenly, give it a bit of a run over with a plate compactor to make it a nice solid surface to walk on. A defined side path not only tidies things up, but it can also make the garden feel bigger, more usable, and much more valuable. I'm hanging this ornamental grape back up, as it had to be taken down to allow for painting. Look for tangled branches, plants growing too close, and anything hiding the garden's best features. If you can see more sky, so can your buyers. I'm taking off a few branches from this apricot as they are slightly blocking the path. Before I call it done, I always finish with a general tidy. Clean up paths and driveways, remove stray leaves, empty bins, and sweep or hose down hard surfaces. Freshly cleaned, uncluttered spaces not only look great in person, but will really shine in the sale photos. Putting in a few days' work in the garden really pays off, giving your property a fresh, spacious, and well-maintained look, and you really don't have to spend a fortune. Remember, buyers make decisions from the very first glance, and a tidy, practical, and beautiful garden can help your place stand out above the rest. Thanks for watching. If you've got your own garden makeover tips or want to see more before and afters, leave your comments down below. Good luck and happy gardening.